right, we're gonna get into the unboxing. I got everything in my lap right here, and as I'm taking it, I'm gonna describe what I'm seeing with you guys and give you some live reaction as I'm pulling this stuff out. But I'm really excited to see what Taylor has to offer through Ghost Sim Racing. First thing that caught my eye was the Phantom bag here. This is a stage 2 clutch. That is going to be really awesome to get into. I really love the packaging too. You guys see that? It looks freaking awesome. Really nice marketing. Really good job there. I love that. That is so cool. USB controller, essential, right? Gotta have that. This is gonna be controlling, I would assume, the control box, right? These are some extremely important components. Elastometers, all of your hardware, including an Allen set key. These look like M6, I believe. Very important that you have your hardware. More elastometers, different grades of actual pressure. So when you're pressing down on the brake, there's gonna be different levels of pressure that you feel. And the colors mean less or soft, stiffer or not as stiff. Cool little keychain, pretty cool stuff, thank you. The packaging actually came with these plastic things, which is very smart packaging. So good job in that regard, Taylor. Let's start off with the clutch. Wow, I forget what these look like. There's not a whole lot of differences yet. So the first feature I really wanted to talk about, we are going to be replacing the current clutch that we have here with a stage 2. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like, how that performs. Give you guys a lot of bite. I do see a little play here. Oh no, it's just a little loose. So another key feature that I really wanted to talk to you guys about, so you can see the bearings here. The original pedals, I actually had to switch mine out, and if you don't switch them out, you're gonna have a lot of friction and just unwanted play there. And what this also does previously, I don't know if you guys know this, but there is absolutely no play. These are beyond freaking tight. I feel like I could smash the crap out of this thing with absolutely no repercussion, and that's what we want. We want build quality, we want durability, we want something that we can come home and just freaking smash our feet on these things with no repercussions whatsoever, because these are extremely durable. Let's get into the throttle here. Really like this thing. And then I noticed here on the bottom of all these, they do have your connector. All right, so we're gonna be getting into that. Awesome. So every single one of these also do have, as you can see right there, that's a 100 Newton piston. And that's going to give you the feel of hydraulics, right? So it's a little hydraulic system right there. Really awesome. I'm loving the pedal face. You guys see that? So that's been updated. Really freaking sweet. Yeah, everything just looks extremely high quality and well made. Very excited to get these. And then again, the upgraded bearings here as well. I really like the color of the red. Really sleek. I usually do save the best for last, and that is our brake. Extremely nice brake here. Brand new pedal face. Extremely nice. Well designed. First thing that you're going to notice here is the extremely thick. Oh, these are massive. This is absolutely huge back here. I don't remember mine being this large in the back. That's what she said, but no, seriously, these are massive elastometers. Now, I don't know if I want to go the route of an elastometer or keep my previous die-cast spring in the very back, but we're going to try it all stock and see how all of these different grades feel as well. And I'm going to really stick to the one that feels the best personally to me. Now, when it comes to a brake, I want something that's extremely durable, that I can smash, that is going to give me a ton of just resistance. I like it super stiff. Like race brakes should be relatively stiff, and I really like that play. I don't want any type of play. And I emphasize that to Taylor because he knows how much I like stiff brakes, and I need them to be stiff because I'm putting them through the ringer, right? Now, this is no emphasis. I have tried to put this down. There's very little play here. Very little. That means that these are also rated for 200 kg. You guys can see that. So these are 200 kg load cells. Extremely well built. So we got a 6mm stainless steel load cell brake mounting bracket, which is down inside of here. It's going to be relatively difficult to see. It's going to be this. See where my finger is? That's 6mm now. Extremely thick. So there on the bottom, you can also see that it's much heavier than the previous one too, which actually really excites me. So I can't wait to get these on. Now that you guys have seen the unboxing, let's go ahead and mount these to the rig and give them a proper test.
Yeah?
All right, we have the old pedals off, and I do not enjoy doing that at all. Hopefully this is the last time in a very long time I ever have to do this. Let's go ahead and look at these older set of pedals and check out the major differences that I see. So right now what I'm doing currently is disassembling the previous mounts that I had for the SimMagic haptics. Now I'm going to link these in the description below where to get these mounts, because these do indeed actually attach to the SimMagic or the SimJack Pros and the Ghost Sim Racing essentially seamlessly. So that's kind of what I'm doing currently. So one of the biggest differences I noticed was the brake. And I feel like that is one of the biggest things to point out here. So let's go ahead and grab that and compare the two. This one is considerably heavier. Now, if you guys see this centerpiece actually right here, this is a lot thicker than the one here. I think that was very intentional. So you go from 3 millimeters, which is this one right here, all the way up to a 6 millimeter brake. That's gonna give you a lot more resistance and durability when you're pressing this brake. And I kid you not, this is probably, and I think it's just tightened up currently, but it is extremely hard to press down. If you look side by side here, you'll also notice some very big differences. Not only that, just the elastometers and then the washers alone. These washers are massive. That was one of the first things I noticed. And look at the washers, and I thought this was considerably effective, and it is to an effect, but not nearly as effective as this one. And this is a massive difference that I'm seeing here with the washers and then the elastometers on this side. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna swap out these haptics real quick, and I'm gonna get back to you guys here shortly. And then we're gonna mount them on the rig, and then we're gonna get into the calibration software. I'm gonna swap out the stage 2 clutch that also came with this. We're gonna hook these up, swap out the haptics, plug in the haptics, and test them. All right, so now we're gonna be installing the stage 2 clutch. So this is the Ghost Sim Racing standard clutch that you guys see here. We're going to be swapping that out, and then just to give you a comparison, these are the two clutches from the original SimJack version to ours. This one is the Ghost Sim Racing, and give you some noticeable differences. I do notice that he actually did make the necessary adjustments. So if you look right here, typically these are slid all the way back, as opposed to, I do notice that difference, that there is some adjustability that he did put inside of here, but essentially it is identical. I do notice the angle is slightly different from what I have on mine. We're gonna go ahead and install the stage 2 clutch real quick and see what that looks like. So this is the stage 2 clutch. All right. Oh wow, all of the hardware necessary in order to do this. Now I do see these little pieces, and they are machined metal. How about that? Look at that. How neat is that, bro? You can just see his little logo right there, which is actually really sweet. So we got the stage 2 clutch installed. No instructional videos, but I did go off of some pictures, which I'm gonna show you guys real quick right here on the website. So pretty cool. But anyways, go ahead and check this out, what the stage 2 mod looks like. So these basically just go straight in. Oh, I didn't even tighten this one yet. I gotta tighten this one still. But super simple. You know what that does, I noticed that this piston, this gets pushed back almost a full inch, so that when you're actually pressing it, there's a massive angle at which it has to be pressed. So this angle right here, there's a massive bite now. See, look how aggressive that bite is now. That is snappy, and that's what you want in a clutch. You really want it to be aggressive. You want it to snap real good. Now that's all depends. You can also adjust these. If you don't want it to snap too much, you can angle this down. But on the pictures online, I wanted to keep this directly in the center. So that's the stage 2 mod. I'm going to give you guys some more live feedback when I actually get it all put together. I'm going to tighten up this screw because I completely forgot. Let's go ahead and get ready to throw these on the rig and hit the track. We are back into the rig, and we're going to give you guys some first initial thoughts during this drive and everything that I'm feeling currently. So right off rip, the biggest differences that I feel is absolutely zero play and almost perfect fluent movement. That's the best way I can possibly describe this throttle that I'm feeling. It feels absolutely really good. There's an actual buoyancy there. The brakes also feeling absolutely amazing as well. Oh wow, these are extremely stiff. Right out of the box, I made 0 adjustments, just adding the haptics, and I'm honestly pretty pleased with how they feel. Now honestly, I know Taylor said the same thing. I do like my brakes. Wow, that throttle feels really good too. Super smooth. I do like my brakes and everything pretty stiff, but I'll be honest, I might actually loosen these up just a hair, because they are extremely stiff. But that'll just take just a little bit more fine tuning on my part. Super simple fixes. But overall, man, I'm really digging these as well. One thing to also try out while we're here is also the clutch. Now I did install that stage 2 clutch so that when I'm able to, so let's just pretend I'm in a stick. Super nice. Clutch, what I'm noticing is that it has this snap to it now. The original Simjacks did not have that, and a lot of what I'm basing this off of is my original Simjacks that I personally upgraded myself, because a lot of you guys know that I will take the tedious time and I will source a lot of my own parts. I'll tell you what, Taylor takes all the guesswork out of it, and these feel better than anything I could have probably sourced myself. The bearings, I will say, make a huge freaking difference from what I'm feeling. There's almost like, so before I was feeling like resistance, and that wasn't caused from the dampers or the elastometers that I had previously installed. I knew for a fact that that was the actual bearings itself. These are almost like on a 0 gravity turn. There's absolutely, as soon as I press, there's instant feedback. And I'm not talking just the haptics, the actual spring, the load, everything. I gotta get around this guy. Taking my time here. Honestly, and if you guys are wondering about the haptics, yes, they are the exact same dimensions as the Simjack Pros. So if you do have the Etsy mount, they will integrate perfectly fine. They'll fit perfectly fine. That's exactly what I did. So that is a plus. Man, these feel really good, and I'm honestly really impressed. So we're gonna finish out this lap, and I'm going to give you guys the final thoughts, and then is it worth it? Let's go ahead and get around these last couple of corners here. Oh man, they just feel, I guess the best thing that I can describe, they feel hyper responsive. And that's not just like me pressing it and it feels just like super responsive. I'm actually getting a kickback with, and not just from the pistons, again, not just from the haptics, the spring, the way that everything's set up, it just feels super clean, super smooth, and just a ton of clean, almost like energy that I'm feeling in these pedals. So, and again, I want to emphasize that it's not just because I have haptics installed. It does increase the experience tenfold, but I'm letting you know right now that these Simjack Ultimate by Ghost Sim Racing, this is definitely the route to go. All right, and welcome back, guys. We are out of the rig, and now it's time to share a little bit of insight. I want to give you the little backstory of what Taylor does, and if I didn't already explain that, I think it's pretty important to explain what he does exactly. So it's no secret, these are Simjack Pro Ultimates, and what Taylor does, he takes these pedals directly from source overseas, and he takes all the guesswork out of it. He deals directly with people over the seas, gets a stockpile, and custom makes every single one of these upgrades that you guys can get. You can privately message him, you can make little adjustments here and there. There's actually a few options that you guys can select online in order to get these custom made for your needs specifically. I think it's really cool. Back when I initially bought these pedals almost 2 years ago, and I kid you not, they did not lose any sort of quality, and these are probably some of my favorite pedals that I've ever had, and they're the most durable that I've also had. Coming from Fanatec V3, V2s, G29s, I think a lot of us have played around TCLM. I've also tried those. Nothing comes close to the best bang for your buck than you get with these. A little backstory on that, I've had the same pedals for 2 years. I reached out to Taylor, I said, yo, it'd be kind of cool to see what these are all about, and he's like, absolutely. So I got a set. I said, listen, I'll review these on the channel for you, but I want to give you complete transparency. I'm not going to tell these guys what they want to hear. I'm going to tell them what they need to hear. And I think the best thing to do is like learn a little bit about you, why you do it, and what separates you from why can't I just buy this from the main source. Number one, he gets it directly from overseas. Like I said, you don't have to deal with AliExpress and SimJack. These people don't speak hardly any English. There's a lot of communication and language barriers there, which can make things extremely frustrating and difficult to communicate with. Don't ask me how I know. 2 years ago, I dealt with the same thing. And then you don't have to wait 30, 40, 50, 60 days sometimes in order to get these pedals. Sometimes for some people, depending on where you are, it might take a couple of weeks. But if you're in the US, it might take you a matter of 3 or 4 days with UPS. I think he ships with, and USPS on occasion. USA based, you get to chat directly with Taylor. He is a one-man team planning to expand in the future. You just get all the perks of just a custom handmade pedal set directly from him in the US. So I think that there's a lot of benefits to doing it this route as opposed to going direct overseas. The last point I really wanted to make was the price point. And a lot of people are asking, is it a lot extra? If you want to go to the direct source versus the base custom, as opposed to the ultimates versus these, that's about a $3 difference. And in some cases, a little bit more in shipping here and there, depending on where you are, it might come out to be exactly the same. Not only are you getting it at basically exact same cost, but you're getting all of the upgrades all in one when you go that route as well. He does have a couple more options, as you guys can see on the website. Are they worth it? I would say if you're looking to upgrade from a basic pedal set and try to get into these, I had a couple of guys already order before this video released, and I reassured them that with the model that I previously had was just the SimJack Pros I've had for over 2 years, 0 issues. It's going to be the same thing with these as well. And everybody that has had these pedals, 0 issues. And the biggest thing about these pedals that Taylor does is that all the upgrades that are included, you could go and source all of these yourself, but it's going to equate to about the same cost anyway. So why not give somebody here in the United States or someone local, takes all the guesswork out of it, does the work for you, ships it to your front door instead of a month waiting, dealing with overseas people, straight to your front door. And it's kind of a no-brainer at this point. You get guys like this, I want to support them. So that's the biggest thing about these. But hopefully you guys have been enjoying these videos, these reviews. Yeah, get links in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the track.